All right. Since I know, Claudia, you're going to have to go, and it's already a little bit after 5:30, I'm going to officially start the meeting. And thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. This has, as I was mentioning a couple minutes ago, has been quite a journey for me, and I am happy that I have you guys as founding members. I wanted to make sure that um, you know that I'm trying to get the stuff up on the website and the membership site as easy as I can. I had promised myself about a month ago because I just had a big birthday a month ago. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. It's going on 2 months now. Goodness.
Which one?
Um,
50?
yes, 50.
Yes, 50.
Mm. Thank you. I'm recording this and I announce that to the world, Claudie. And I told myself that, I personally it was hard just with the COVID-19 and how it's affects my family, how I've been worrying about my older daughter, worrying about my younger daughter having no social contact whatsoever. Though she's fine with that because they're, at the age 13, 14, they're in a little bubble. They don't want to talk to anybody anyway. Um, and the situation with my husband and myself and my work and my business, I just decided to, with all of that was going on, I said, okay, if I work Saturdays, I'm not working Sundays because I was working 7 days a week for almost over a year. And um, so that was my promise to myself. But unfortunately, when you take a day off, that pushes things back when you're doing multiple things. But I want to stick to that promise, and I wanted to stick to the promise of myself that I wanted to get this membership up and running for my own personal benefit in the future. I hope that it will grow and continue to grow, and also to the promise of the people that I've been speaking to, you guys included, that this was something that would be available to you as time goes on. So, with um, with that being said, I'm just going to go straight to a quick little presentation. It's just going to be quick so that I can kind of go through some steps on how the process works. I'm going to go through the website, so you're going to see it up and then it's going to be gone for a bit. I'm going to share my screen so you can see that. And okay, so here we are with the implementation Achieve Your Goals workshop. And I'm assuming that the majority of you are all coming to this because you have some goals that need to be completed. One, that you may not know technically how to do it, or two, you just want um, support of some sort, and or have some sort of learning curve along with the structure on how you need to go about getting your goals completed. So I just mentioned a little bit about myself and what my goals were and why I started this membership. And um, I talked a little bit about my family. I just threw this information in there. You can not necessarily need to read it all, but my superpower, I guess you could say, to again learn a little bit about me, is being very organized. I've always been very organized, and I guess that is one of those things that when I was in college and even when I was younger, it's just one of those things that if it comes naturally to you, you just take it and you go for it. If you're a natural talker, if you're a natural this, if you're a natural that, I think that should be a base for what you do with your work and have it be hopefully geared towards something that you're happy with doing. And I just put this last one in there because um, I don't want to say my daughters go around saying I'm the most awesome mom ever, but hey, I need to say it because they won't. So, and this is my family. So when I say if I have to go because something's happened with one of my babies, these are my three babies: my husband, Kevin, my oldest, Megan, who just went off to college, and my youngest, Madison, who is an eighth grader. She's 13 going on 14. So this is the reason why I do everything. They don't realize how much you put on the line for them, and how much you do for them until they get older. So I'm waiting for that day when they realize all that we do. So we're going to review the membership website. And I want to also go over Slack versus Facebook and what it means when I'm asking you for an assignment or homework. In particular, I want to start off with the Slack versus Facebook, because Facebook, as you know, is quite public. Even though we'll have a group that's just for us, I wanted that to, just because most people are used to having that, but I was having that more for accomplishments, sharing different goals, different stories that may have happened, or collaborating in different ways. The Slack is more of an internal chat. So I wanted to make sure that everybody was on there, because it's could be private so that you can have a conversation between you and I. If you're stuck on something, have a problem with something, if I'm saying, hey, remember I said I was going to get you that link, instead of always communicating via email, Slack is a great way to communicate with a team. And that's how I'm thinking of this workshop, and as us in this membership, is not just for this workshop, but it's as I continue to add information and as the courses grow, we're a team working through our different goals. We're a team working through our different parts of our online businesses that we want to, that needs work, or needs to get started, or needs to just get finished. And I will, once I'm done with these, instead of closing this out, I'm going to go ahead and I will jump into those programs once I'm done with the rest of this here. So here's what what you will accomplish. And this is the basic roadmap for my program, for the implementation program. So taking these steps going upward here, it is having an objective. And that's pretty much just what your goal is. Obstacles. What kinds of things do you need to think about before you move forward? Organization. Even just having your files and making sure that you know where all of your pieces are, the things that you get from here in the membership, along with scheduling your time so that you are sure to make time for the projects that you want. And that's a really key point that I like to point out, because just like for myself, the time, that's why I left a lot of my own projects, not for my clients that I had, but my own business, for the weekends. But then I was working all weekend. So you have to have a balance on saying, okay, maybe this evening I'll work late, and this particular day I'll work, or this weekend day I'll work. Putting it on that schedule and sticking to it. And if it's a day that you don't work, because you do need that time to regenerate. Then D, outsourcing. I'd like to talk about outsourcing, and it's not that you need to, but you need to at least think about it. Outsourcing is, first, you have the money for it. And if you do, what are you going to outsource? It depends on your goal. If, let's, as an example, say your goal is to build a website. Do you know how to build a website? Are you wanting to put in the hours to learn how to build it yourself? Or are you actually wanting to hire somebody to do it for you? So, those are just during that time and during that day, that's, the things we'll talk about and look at. Operate, taking action. That's simple. And we might even spend extra time on that. And I'll definitely have my pop-up Q&As, which I'll talk a little bit about around that time that week, because I know that's a huge step, that it might take more time than just, okay, objective, I know what I want to do. That's easy. It took me 5 minutes to write it down. But when it comes to the actual steps that you're going to take, it could take days possibly to figure out, one, what the actions are, and then executing them overall. And that execution can take time. then overcome. So pretty much working that plan and overcome any obstacles, not just obstacles um, that we were talking about in B, which is what kinds of things would we need that we don't have to accomplish our goal, but what we have to overcome an obstacle that actually happened. So let's say you ran out of money, or I've heard about 3 people breaking their wrists in the last few weeks. I don't mean to laugh, but it's just like, oh my gosh, another person broke their wrist. It just happened in threes. And I'm sorry, I think 2s, and I was thinking, I hope I'm not the 3rd one. But so that is something that would delay a project, because if you were needing to type, if depending on what hand it was, and just illness overall. And then finally, your success, having an outcome that will be what that goal is. And as you look at this and these steps, and as I talk about what I want you to do for your homework, which is writing down and thinking about your overall objective, you can have multiple objectives and have a goal and have an outcome, but you may have a grand finale of an outcome. So you might go through this process 3 or 4 times, because there's 3 or 4 things to do that. So let's say if you're putting together a membership like I was, okay, were you maybe working on the website? That's one goal, to go through these steps. And then the next is email nurturing, email verbiage, writing all the copy, and maybe even marketing is thrown in there. Then that's part of your next goal and roadmap. So you see how you can take one big goal and you're breaking it down into multiple ones. So, and that's why this, I think, is important as us getting to know each other as a team, because some people may be stronger at some things than others. You might find somebody in the group who will be like a good sounding board to you, because they may have a similar type of business or in the same boat as you are. And it won't be the first time, hopefully, that we work together. Hopefully we'll be able to continue this journey, not just through this implementation workshop, but through the next one, and then maybe the one after that. And or continue to speak via Slack or through our pop-up Q&As. Okay, so the implementation workbook, hopefully you guys got that. And I can open that up also when I'm done with this PDF here. And it's just for you, a way for you to keep track of the lessons, and it has each of those 7 objectives, or I guess 7 steps that start with an O, was my theme there. So all the way from the objective to the outcome, then places for you to take notes and to maybe even keep track of the final piece, as in, this is what you accomplished. So you can look to see on this, maybe the steps that you took, and this was the outcome, and actually keeping track of some tools that you may have used that was very helpful for you.
Arlene, sorry, this
Yes.
implementation book,
Mm-hmm.
where do I find it? I mean, you say
I sent it to you in an email. I thought I sent it this morning. I am not a fan of MailChimp, but I use it because of cost effectiveness. And I thought it had gone out, but it went out later this afternoon around
I
2
got it.
o'clock. You got
I
it?
got it.
I
Yeah.
didn't
Okay,
see
good.
it, because okay, I will check. I will check.
Okay, and if not, let me know and I can resend it to you. And it has
Uh,
two buttons on there. It had the one on how the video, I believe, on how to sign up for the Zooms. And then the second button was a link to the workbook.
Yeah.
And I'll show it to you and go through it here in a few minutes.
Alan, can we like I printed it out because I couldn't work out how to save it on the actual computer, the workbook. Is there a
Okay.
way of doing that, or what, or do I have to go in each time and?
Well, no, you can. No, it's for you. I did make it so that you can type in it. It has a
Yeah,
fields.
yeah.
Yes. So we can go through and maybe look to see to help you get it saved if that's how you want to do it and not have the paper copy.
Yeah.
But it's just the one book for this one project.
Okay.
Okay.
And can I, if I did it online, like on the computer, is
Mhm.
there a way of saving that? Or
Yes.
there is.
Yes.
How do
Yeah.
you do that? I couldn't see anything to do.
I could take you through that. What we'll do is once we get through this and I pull it up, I'll have you share, and then I'll look to see and show you on your screen on where you may have to download it. And then once you download it, you can keep the main copy,
Okay.
or just rename it,
Yeah.
or whatever it is that you would like to rename it.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. So one of the things I wanted to send to you guys, and let's see if you could get this, because let me do my chat and see if this link will work for you. It is a sheet, very simple sheet. My keyboard's not working down there. Let me know if that link works for you. Otherwise, I'll send it to you in email.
There's a link, yes. So,
yes, in the chat.
Yes.
Oh, in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Should we open it?
Yes, if you'd like to. Yes.
You want me to open it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's about Zoom.
It should open up another window for you, the link. Did it not?
It opened up another Zoom window.
Another Zoom window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See that?
Yes.
I can see it now.
Connecting to
All
open
right,
a
great.
new homework brainstorm. Is that?
Yes, homework brainstorm. So what it is that once we're done talking about a subject for the day, we're going to take a little time to help each other start this process of what to accomplish this goal for the week. So it's the action plan and / implementation worksheet. So for step one is the objective. And we're going to look to see what and how, and then come up with the 3 ways that we are to accomplish it. And you don't have to use this form. I just think that it is, that it is beneficial and it could be helpful for some. So I wanted to make sure to include something on top of the actual workbook that you would be using to jot down those first thoughts. Okay, this is what the goal is. What are the 3 main things that I need to get done this week to accomplish it? So for this week, what we'll be doing is going over the objective and thinking about the objective. So what is your ultimate goal? Are there many goals, as I talked about a little bit before, that need to be done to achieve that final goal? And if so, then maybe this implementation workshop would just be geared towards one of those mini goals to accomplish that. And then to just think about all of the steps for that final outcome. So that's what all of those steps can be a goal. Okay, so now it's there to help you stay on track, and I would really like for you guys to focus on, for this week, what your final outcome is and what steps it will take you to get there and what steps you think you need to do to get there. And I'm going to then open up. I want to go to actually the PDF for here's my forms. 1 second, I should have it open. Here we go. Okay, so this is the workbook that I sent out to you, Claudia and Rhonda. And so, as I mentioned, it's something for you to bring every week and to hopefully fill out. I go over briefly these 7 steps that I just talked about in the roadmap. and we're here on objective 1. And within the 6 weeks, I think I have maybe outsourced and organized together in 1 week, and maybe even overcome an outcome together. And it will, each day we will go over what will be, or I'm sorry, each time that we meet, we'll talk about what is due that next time. Then I also put in a checklist for you here if you want to do it as a checklist to one, we're going through the objective, we're getting that done. And let me, and this little space here is for you to keep track of the assignments maybe, if there's something in particular that you want to have done, and also some tools. I think it's really important to keep track of tools that you use that you like, because there's different types of email systems. There are hundreds of programs for project management. There are all of the different tools and things that we may eventually talk about, and you'll be like, no, I didn't like this one, but I like this one. You know, to keep track of what it was maybe, and then also what it helped you accomplish. Sometimes we can end up purchasing and getting tools and buying them, and never really using them. So I think it's important to keep track and utilize the ones that you like the most. So here is what the workbook for the day 1, your activity documentation is. So once you have that homework worksheet, you're going to think about it, maybe write your notes. You may have 2 or 3 different versions of what your goal is. Then your final goal that you come up with, and after you've thought about it for a while, is to put it here and document it here in this workbook. Then for you to put attainable action steps, not just any steps, but attainable ones, because you may say, I want to build a website by next week, and then the week after that, I'm going to launch. And it's just like, that's not attainable. Unless you already have it built, you're not going to build it in a week, unless you're a web designer, maybe.
Sure enough.
And then on each page, I also have resources needed, and then questions and obstacles that you may have had. We will have a time that if we don't get to all of the questions here, if it just ends up being the 3 of us, then I don't think my form would be necessary. But as we grow, and if people will join us in the future, and I have a few other people in our group who can't make this day and time, but I asked them to go ahead and still listen to the replay and still follow along with the steps, and then show up at a pop-up Q&A that's a time better for them, so that I can help them one-on-one on, and even you guys can attend, can help with some questions that would arise. And this is just good, I think, because if you forget of a question and you're like, I knew I had a question, it was about something. And this is where we can help each other, I think, the most.
But a good way is to print it, right? And to
Yes.
Yeah.
This link is the link I sent you. You can print it and you can save it to your desktop. And if you save it to your desktop, I made them all so that they're fields you can write in. And it's just one for each of the steps. And then that's it. And just for me to ask you to keep track of your questions as you go, and to bring them to class or to the pop-up Q&A sessions.
Yeah. So when I click on this link, I just go to you.
Yeah, I'll send them to you, because that link was for the homework sheet, that pretty much that 1 page, for you to start jotting down your ideas. It's this one here. For you to do the start process. So, you know, some people may like the 1 sheet, you may not want to put it there, you know, and you want to use the other, just the workbook. It's just giving you an extra option, an extra tool. Okay, so I wanted to, and I know I want to make sure I go through this, Claudia, before you leave, because you were one who was asking about Slack.
Yeah.
And again, and about the difference between the two. So why aren't I not seeing my channels?
sorry if I eat a little bit at the same time. It's
That
just,
that's okay. I understand. Right before, when I think I saw an email from Rhonda saying she'd logged in, I'm like, I'm sorry, I need to eat real quick. My daughter came to me and she's just like, Mom, you've been there all day. Did you eat anything yet today? I'm like, no. She's like, get up and eat. I'm like, I will, but I have da, 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 da. And I said, okay. And I set an alarm and I said, I promise I'll eat something before my class tonight. Okay. All right. So the difference between the Slack and the Facebook, as I was mentioning, I think this is a better form of communication. It'll be quicker. I think it'll cut down on our emails too. I don't know about you girls, but sometimes my email drives me crazy. And then I feel so bad if I miss an email,
okay.
that it's just gotten buried or by mistake has ended up in my spam and trash, or I should say junk mail. So there, as we get bigger, there's just a general area for all of us to chat back and forth. And then there is, I thought we had, there we go. It was just membership. Somebody created this membership channel. I don't remember creating this. Maybe I did. But see, this is here how we can chat with each other. And it's very user friendly. I could go and under direct messages, I could go straight to Women Shine. I know that's you, Rhonda. And I'll be like, hey, how did you like the live webinar? And it would be between her and I. Nobody else would see this. If we were in one of these groups, which is what is called a channel, then it's between just those people in the group. So you guys are part of the PBY panel, which is Potential for a Better You panel, as a founding member. I've asked you, and I've said it's a bonus. I think I'd like to think of it as a bonus, because as we go through, I want to have your honest critique of maybe a form or something that's missing, or for me to try to add an extra day of this, or whatever it is you find an error on my website, that kind of a thing. That this is where that would all go. And it's locked because it's just us in that channel. So that it's private for just this group within the group. And Claudia, does that make sense for you, the difference between how this works and Facebook group? Okay.
I was just afraid that it will be too much for my brain.
Yeah, I think it's pretty simple. And it's like, if you wanted to ask me a question, you throw it in there and you can just send it to me directly under the direct messages. And you start with an @ it's an actual @ sign, and it pulls up everybody's name. So let's say we're in the general or in the membership area, and I'm going to put @ Dorothy, and just start typing your name, and then @ Uma. Uma is somebody who's actually in India, and she's like, Arlene, that's the middle of the night for me. I can't make it. I know I told you I was going to be able to make it, but she can't. Oh, and then we do Anne. Anne is working. And I started putting the A, and I'm choosing Anne. So sorry you missed.
So I have to find it when you send it. Did you send it on the Potential for Better, or did you send it on the Slack?
I sent it through Slack. It's
Okay.
actually, sending you an invite so that it takes you directly to the page, to this here. And it's free. You do not have to pay for anything. It may say something about wanting to upgrade. You do not have to upgrade. There's no reason to.
Okay.
It's a free service.
I found it.
Okay, great. Sorry you missed the live session today. I'll let you know when the recording is up. Okay. So once people start getting used to also using Slack, instead of me sending an email of a new form or a new tool, or that if I've uploaded 5 new videos or something, and finally got it so that, oh, Claudia joined, got an area that had an error in it, let's say, and it wasn't working and I got it fixed, I could just throw it in here saying, hey guys, I got that fixed. You can go back in now. Okay. And then see how it sends you a little message and then it dings for me. And then I see that Claudia has a message for me, and I'll know that I have one here waiting for me. And then I can go there and it's just saying that you joined. And if you left me a message, that's where it'll be. Okay.
So will you put the recordings into Slack or in the
No,
email?
it's going to be on the website.
On the website.
I'm hoping the majority of the items will be here on the website.
Okay. Right.
Yes.
Could your book, and not a book, but the documents that you sent also be inside Slack?
I can put it in Slack. What will happen is under resources.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you're going to go to resources. And here you will see the same icons as at the very beginning. And I'm sorry again, ladies, I have the actual pieces for the PDFs uploaded already, but they're not attached to where they should be for you to see them here, which is why you, I think, Rhonda, were seeing like a video that was not, it was the wrong, it's just that it's not been populated yet.
Okay.
And then I have downloadables ready to go in here, my 2-minute mentions, which will be little Zoom or Loom or some little recording that's giving you a nugget of information on something, and then the Zoom Q&As.
It's not totally ready, yeah, on your website.
No, it's not totally ready. I'll get it ready as soon
yeah.
as I can.
Yeah, it's okay, Irene. I mean, just
we're not ready either. So it's on.
Just I wanted to let you know, it's just...
Yeah, before you say, oh, this is all not working, I know it's all not working yet. I have the stuff to go there, I just haven't been able to populate it. And the Zoom Q&As, I'll let you know too when those are, because I'm going to just pick miscellaneous days and times, or I'm going to put in Slack and saying, hey, when is somebody available? And if you have questions, let me know and I'll see if I can make it, and then I'll set up a time. And then we can meet that way. So to answer your question though, as we go through, you're going to go into the resources, and then you're going to go into the implementation.
Okay.
And then here's where I'm going to populate all that we have. So it'll have day 1, and it'll have the recording, the video, and then it will have all of the documents that I've talked about, and I maybe even add a few things there.
Okay.
Okay. And then we'll go down to the day 2 and so on and so on. And then they will always be here for you to look at.
Yeah.
I might end up having even a separate page at some point on taking nuggets of our conversations that may be good as we go along, that might be beneficial to other people, and put them into another section of the resources area. Maybe similar to the 2-minute mentions, putting it in that area. So did you guys understand how to log into the Zoom? And I think
I didn't. What was on the little Loom thing didn't work on my computer. I had this other page that came up about little, like on the Zoom, on the initial page, it had this thing with things about membership and all that. So it didn't actually do what you said, but I found it anyway. I just
found it. Okay.
played around. Yeah.
Okay. So here, if I were to add a course and a time, you do have to sign up, unfortunately, for each one. It's not a one-time deal. So you would be going in and registering for each of those that you will be coming to. And then that way you will definitely get it's doing that too, to make sure you get the email reminders for the day before and then 3 hours before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, did you have any questions for me so far?
No, I think Well, it's an ongoing process. I mean,
Yes, it is. So that's, and then so putting all that technical, this is how you log on, we're going to all be here, and this is the forms you use. Let's talk a little bit about your goals. What goal are you thinking of? And I'll start with you, Claudia, since I know you have to leave.
yeah, that's very. I'm really sorry, but it's just.
No, that's okay. I understand. It's life, and that's the way it is. So, so what is your goal for being here?
Well, I mean, first of all, as I wrote you, I think on the form is was
Yeah.
I was first of all very, very not only impressed, but about your achievement of the, this whole conference and this summit
The
and
summit.
yeah. So for me, I'm launching my membership in at the end of October. I'm so in the world of somatic education, so I'm teaching. I'm a somatic educator, um, and so during my career, I'm teaching for 40 years now. But my career always was weak in showing up, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on Facebook, but I'm 300 people is not bad. I think it's not bad,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's not. The goal would be to have bigger audience. My membership is about aging without shrinking in French, vieillir sans rétrécir. So
Aging without shrinking. That's lovely.
so I like that we have white hair. You too, and so the whole business of emails and I have my marketing plan, how to send the emails and what to do for the 3 next weeks, and but I know I'm weak around this
Mm-hmm.
thing. So to
So
increase the audience, I would say.
helping you do it, helping you be accountable, maybe
How you mean how?
to be accountable to, because you know how to do it, you know that you need to do it, you know what your next step is, but you need the push to do it. Is that what you're saying?
I need I kind of trust issues and procrastinations. And also,
Procrastination.
it's a question of balance between, taking time also, I'm 66 and I mean, I love my work and I love to do it. But I also want, to have a good balance between different part of my life
Mm-hmm.
and as a grandmother and all these kind of things. But yeah, it's like, yeah,
You let
going,
that slide.
yeah, so going, allow myself to have more audience and also even if to have more income also at the end. I mean, it's not my main goal, but it's to increase the audience, I would say, because
Mm-hmm.
it's just bringing what I love to do to a big audience because it makes sense,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like Alison Rapp said, it's doing and giving to the world what I love to do and what is
Yes. Yeah.
useful for
Yes.
people.
Great. Okay. Okay. And what about you, Rhonda?
Uh, well, I'm sort of probably similar to Claudie, and I've had a business for 35 years or so in Feldenkrais practitioner, and I also specialise in voice, teach people to speak and to sing. And I've with the COVID thing, I started teaching online. I actually designed a course a couple of years ago called Express the Real You, which was about the voice work, but I never really got it off the ground. It's like it's on a Yes Course site and everything, and I've had about 30 people, I suppose, through that. But
Mm-hmm.
and people were very walking at the technology of how to do the online things, and
Mm-hmm.
so. But since the COVID thing started, I've been able to teach. Like I've been teaching weekly since it started, like 6 months now, and I love it. I just absolutely love teaching online. And the thing is that I don't have the technology much. I mean, it's just that I've not had the exposure to things. And
Mm-hmm.
what I'd really like to do is it's a very big picture. I have no idea how to get there. Is have a membership site that people can go. I've got all sorts of material over 35 years of practicing, just sort of how to so I've got all the material there. I've got, except I don't know how, I have no idea how to set up a membership site. I'm just very impressed by what you've done. And it's like, I'm also now I'm 71, so don't know how. I'm a very hard worker, and I've worked a lot in my business, but I'm tired. Like it's like now I'm living with my family at the moment, and we'll move out eventually, but not just yet. So so I have the responsibilities of, like, my son-in-law sprained his ankle a few days ago, and my little granddaughter who's 9 is having panic attacks, and so there's all this stuff going on emotionally in my family. And yet my heart is in being of service. Like, I just really think it's a time for women, especially, like, I call my businesswoman shine, just to stand up and speak out for themselves. I just want to be of service in that way. And I was drawn to you and what you're doing. And I was very, like Claudia, very impressed with what you did on the summit.
Thank you. Thank you to you both very much for saying that.
And just can see the possibility. Yeah.
I'm very happy to meet you, Rhonda. And
yes, me too, Claudia.
Next week. And Arlene, I'm glad to be here.
Yes.
And I have to leave now because I have to go
back
on another Zoom.
Yes. We'll see you next week this time, and enjoy your retreats.
Thank you.
And do your homework. We'll go over your objectives and then take those objectives to the next step. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you much. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, Claudia.
Bye.
Yeah. So I think that the sort of person that I need to help me is someone like you, who's very organised and knows the structures and things of what to do. So I don't have a lot of money to put. So it has to be finding a way of doing. I know that's a huge picture of doing that, and how do I do that? Not being able to outsource so much things. And using my energy to the best of my ability to accomplish things, but it's more like a soul connection with you that I feel that drew me to you, and so
that's so sweet.
Yeah, and you're so humble, and yet you're so capable. You know what to do. So yeah.
Thank you. Well, I hope, and I know that it'll work out. We'll find a way. I know with me and things that I've done, it had to have been economical also. It's just when I had that summit finally happen that I decided to take a little bit of that money and invest it into the membership part, because I don't want to continue to do summits on a regular basis. They're a lot of work.
Yes.
And I think we all, especially with where we are now, are at the point of realizing an online business and wanting it to be evergreen, something that you set up that, like you said, a membership and that library of all of those lessons and everything that you have. You don't want it to sit there and go to waste. No, you want it. You want it to continue on, and you want to be able to spread that nationally, internationally, and how you do that is online. So setting something like that up online is definitely very important. I know of a couple ways, not through the system that I did, because it did take a chunk of money to some people say, oh, $1,500 is not a lot of money for what you're getting, but yet $1,500 is $1,500. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't have $1,500. To me, $1,500 is a lot of money. I'm like, I can maybe do 50, 60, 100, 200, let's take that down a little bit. So that's where, there's other options out there other than maybe just the way I've done it. I've done my membership a few different ways. And you can probably look at one of those other ways also that we could eventually talk about once you get this first step of, okay, what is this first goal that you're needing to accomplish, whether it's going to be getting the membership started or just getting yourself organized. There's there's you, like you said, you have this big picture. You have to choose which one you're going to start off with.
Yes, yes. That's what I don't know, really. I have no idea how to
Well,
go about it. So,
what was it that you said before the membership that you were doing, that you were thinking of doing?
before that, well, what I've done is I've been teaching online classes like it's called IAG with Ease and Grace. So, and that's working really well.
That's
I've got
good.
mostly people, you know, in the seniors, and that's probably my market really.
Okay.
And the people who are wanting more.
So that's going well. So that you're not going to do anything with that right now. If anything,
No.
you have that going, and that's who you can market to.
Yes.
I think
and I send out regular newsletters on MailChimp, and I have a website called Woman Shine, and I have this online. Well, it's been partly online, the voice work, but what I've done is I've got about 43 videos on there, and people can go in and access them, but they actually need my input too. I can see that it needs something like me.
That's what it was that you mentioned, was the voice, not just your ATMs, but your voice work.
Yes, I've written a book called Sovereign Woman about my journey with the voice, because I learned to sing opera at 67 and sang the lead in Little Opera, but it was because of my Feldenkrais awareness that I could learn how do I organise myself to do that. So, yeah.
Oh, great.
And that's my great love, really, and that's the gift that I have. I sing and I dance, and yeah.
Awesome.
So when you said before, what do you love and what are you good at, and that's what I'm good at. So,
Good.
And using Feldenkrais to create the body temple.
And okay, so then there's two parts to that I see. There's the voice part, and then do you have separate ATM, or the voice pieces, the videos that you're talking about, or do you have separate Feldenkrais videos, or are they the same thing?
The videos, I've got a whole lot on my website. I've got a YouTube channel, and I've got 150 videos on there. Some of them are about the voice. Like I talk about finding the colors of your voice, and I go through the different centers of the body. And so you could if you have a look on my website, you'll see all that. And just sort of, So I've got these structures. I've done a lot of heaps of work, and I've worked really hard all my life. Not made a lot of money, but worked very hard and given good service to people. But
Right. So you need to probably organize them. I would say you want to organize all of the products that you have. Is what you want to, your objective is to, whether, I don't know that we could do it all within the 6 weeks, but to at least get started on your membership. So I would say your first objective is to look at all of the pieces and think about all of the products that you want on that membership and what that membership would be like. So and maybe just get a rough idea on an action for that. Maybe how many videos do you have? How many audios do you have? Are there like 5 different categories that you can put them in, or is there 20 different categories you can put them in? Start thinking of it that way. And then, yeah, I think that's a great place for you to start, because you already have a platform that you're working off of. You already have a website, YouTube. You can maybe end up taking some of the ones on YouTube and keeping them there. Or there may be some that are good enough to say, hey, this could go into my membership. I'm going to put it in the package to sell. And then think of it as, because the program, for the voice program that you have, I'd have to see the layout of it, and think about, is it a program that you're taking the person with their voice and singing to a point, or are there different lessons that fall into different groups? And
I can send you the link to it if you want. And just
yeah, you do that, and I can take a look at that for you. And because I'm thinking on, do you want it to be just like a membership, so they get all of this information, they get all of these videos for a certain price, and you may not put all of them up there at the very beginning. You may just have, if let's say you just putting a number out there, let's say you have 100 of them, you're going to start off with maybe 20, 25.
Yeah.
Because with a membership, you want to be able to continuously add to it. And you could say, okay, well, I'm adding this new program. It's a program you already had and you did,
Yeah.
but you're not going to add it for a while. So that's where the calendar and thinking of over the next year, you would say, then these 5 are put up, then this 5 are put up, so that they're always getting something new and something more for their membership.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So start, I would say for your week, for your objective, to work on that membership and to then start the action steps on getting it, what you have organized.
Yeah. And is there a platform for them? Like, oh, you said you'd recommend something.
Yes. Well, and see.
Yeah. Well, probably the Yes Course thing that I've got. I could use that. Have you ever heard of Yes Course? It's like a.
If you,
anyway, I'll send that to you.
Yeah, send it to me. Is it something you've already paid for and have? Or
well, it was a free thing.
Okay.
And you pay them when people sign up for the course. That's what it is with the voice thing. So once they sign up, they get a certain percentage of the course.
Okay.
It may not be suitable. Just sort of,
How many people do you think you would have in your membership? 400, 200, 100?
Well, at the moment, I've got about nearly 600 on a mailing list, but that wouldn't be all people, that go to. See, that's another thing. You've got to market it, haven't you? And then sell it, and just sort of so.
Yep. Okay.
So that's sort of. Oh, I can see it's a huge thing. And that's a part of me. Yeah.
Yeah, because you might get somebody, and that's why you start off with a key first 20, 25. And then when you can market that to begin with, and then within that 600, like let's say next month or the month after, you do the next 20 or 5, and it's packaged nicely and it's geared towards a certain issue.
Yes.
Then that's when you send out your email, you're saying, hey, I have something that's dealing with this. You might be interested. And then you might have 5 people that'd be like, oh, that's exactly what I needed.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And then you little by little 5 here and so on. Okay. I'll look at that. And I want you to look into Teachable.
Okay.
It's not, there's a lot of good things about Teachable, especially when you're starting out. And I think it would be good and user-friendly enough for you to do yourself. So I think if we were to go through it, and if we get some things set up with it and you do some of the tutorials with it, it's something that once you have it set, you will very easily be able to add stuff for yourself and add things. Okay. And I know, and I can't say as far as price and everything, because when I first started off a few years ago, the prices have changed so much over the last year, especially with COVID. People have all of a sudden said, hey, everybody needs this now. Prices started going up.
Yes.
And new products have started coming out also. So there might even be something new out there that I don't know about. AppSomo, if they ever have a deal, I will let you guys know about it. And I'm saying this as I wrap up, because I know we're going on our hour here. And a piece that everybody may be interested in is technology. How I love playing around with the new technology. It's kind of weird where I'm like, oh, I want to try that. And I could get lost in playing around with it for hours. That and looking at pretty images when I'm looking for an image to go somewhere. In marketing pieces, I'm like, okay, no, don't go on the website, Arlene. You'll be on there for hours. But AppSomo it's a platform that has deals, in a sense. Think of it as like a Walmart. or a Target, but it has deals for a small amount of time for a company that may be new or wanting to relaunch again. And think of it, you getting a coupon, a special code to get in on it at this low price.
Okay.
And it's usually about $57 to a couple $100. All the ones I've bought are 57. And what I love is that I get to try out a new product to see if I like it.
Yeah.
I get in and I'm grandfathered in at the AppSumo deal. And I can always cancel and get a refund like that.
Yeah.
Each one may have, some may have like a 30-day, some may have a 60-day refund, but they've never had a problem with going in and saying, okay, I know I'm going to get it. Go ahead and it may only be available for a short amount of time, but I'll do it. Put it on my calendar to go through that program and see if I like it, if it'll be worth the amount of money I'm putting into it, and decide on if I'm keeping it or not. But that's how I found a couple little programs that I've used and what I had my old membership on.
Yeah.
And the only downfall is that if you have a newer product, they're at a stage where they're growing. So they may not have everything you need just yet. They're still adding features and adding buttons and flags. But you know, half the time you don't need most of the stuff. You just want some place to start putting your stuff in your data and your whatever.
Yeah.
So that's something we can look into, and I'll keep an eye out for everybody on cool things that are there. And I'll think about you for your platform.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Arlene.
You're welcome. I hope you found it beneficial today.
Yeah,
And
that's great. Thank you.
you're welcome. Fill out your form, get thinking on what you want to do, and then when we meet next week, we'll go on to the next step.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You have a great week.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.